A terrain tutor is never late. He arrives exactly at the time he means to. Hello, folks, of course. 3 minutes past 9 on a Sunday night. It's time for the Sunday Nighter. How are you? Oh, quick sup of the brew. I'm ahead of the buttons. The chat is working. The question doc is already open, although has no questions. Link down below in the description if you've got any terrain questions, guys, this show. Yeah, the Google Doc is open. You don't need to be logged in. Just jump on, put your screen name in, put what platform you're on, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook or Twitch, and then and then just simply enter your question and we'll get to it in about 10-15 minutes when we start working things up. Now, I see people chatting with me. Yeah. I see Tam, extraterrestrial badger. Kez would like that. I see Red, Gornsey, Pete, Yam, Cat. Hello, Cat. Peg. Everyone's getting reduced tonight. Jim, Rob, Hinge, Otis, Norman. A gang's all here. I wonder if RJ's... I need to catch up with RJ's. I haven't... I meant to catch up with him late this week and I just never got a chance round to. It's been crazy as usual. Oh, let me have a good stretch. So, this week has been one of those crazy ones where terrain shooter-wise, I haven't really got much done. Yeah, I've been working on the book. Okay, I've been planning the planning section. That's quite interesting to sit down and plan a planning section. Yeah, so I'll tell you. That can be quite interesting, but I've bullet pointed all my planning section out, so I am ready to write my first, I think it's 8,000 words this week. So I'm reading the comments there, getting distracted. So yeah, 8,000 words on planning. My webcam's up a little. That's what's bothering me. That's better. So yeah, got the planning section to do. 8,000 words on planning. There's quite a bit in it, to be truthful. About 8,000 words. Yeah, so that's my task for next week. So I've been bullet pointing all that up. I've been working on the Adepticon footage, get that ready, and I've been just trying to catch up on all the social media and all the posts. There's just so many of them. Yeah. Hopefully by the end of next week, I'll be caught up again. Red saying, as long as you enjoy writing the book, these worlds will be over really quickly. To be perfectly honest, we're doing a sample spread. Well, actually, it's 2 spreads, yeah, because it's 4 pages. A spread is 2 pages of a book. So when you open a book and you look at 2 pages, that's called a spread, I discovered. Yeah, and we're doing a sample piece, which is essentially 2 spreads, okay, 4 pages. And it's on dealing with warping. So it's the warping section from the book. And I was in the studio taking photos and that sort of stuff. And they're not the best photos, in all honesty. But I haven't got my proper camera gear or setup yet. So I know they're not the best photos. And, you know, we're putting it out with the fact that these aren't the best photos. But I did 3,700 words for that section. And that came really easy. Really easy. Like, just sit down, look at my bullet points, and it just... And as I was going, I was actually thinking, oh, you need to pull this in as well. And all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. 8,000 words. How many of those are whatchamacallit spelt differently? About 8,000 of them, mate. Hey, Jez. Hey, up, Ant. Been looking at your work, Jez. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not overly concerned. Yeah, this is the concern though. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you know what I mean? Should I be more concerned than I actually am? That's the real question. Am I going into this sort of like, it's going to be easy? I mean, I've planned it all out and all that sort of stuff, so it's all logical and it's all theoretically doable. And based on the work I did with the warping piece, yeah, it's all doable. But I'm feeling rather a bit too confident, and that's never a good thing. How word heavy will it be? Depends on the section. Yeah, I suppose the best way to do it is split it up into 3 sections. Yeah, all the theory thinky bits, and they're going to be word heavy. Then you've got a section on like core techniques and principles, stuff that carries practical stuff that carries across, you know, everything pretty much. And they're going to be pretty much a mixture, probably just over half words, if you know what I mean, and the rest pictures. And then when we get to the actual tutorial pieces, the buildings and those sections, which is the bulk of the book, yeah, you're probably looking at just under half words, yeah, and just over half pictures. It's all about showing you what to do, but you need the words in there to explain, look, this is what you do with this, and this is what you do with that. Yeah, so it's what you call it. It's word heavy at the start, and then it gets less word heavy as it gets more picture heavy. Yeah, depending on what I'm trying to show you. Yeah, or what I'm trying to get across in the book. Obviously, the theory sections, you can't really do lots of pictures with planning. They're kind of wasteful pictures. You know what I mean? And space is precious to me. I've got my 176 pages, of which 170 are mine, and I've got my list that I need to fit in it. Hey up Insane, Hakalumi, Jazz, Charlie. Right, let me have a look at the questions. How are we doing? We've got a couple. Right, back to my chat. We've got a couple of questions so far. I'll jump into those in a minute. I need to adjust my cushion. The back's a lot better. Hey, Red Green. Right. So, I did have a little treat, and I need to move my keyboard for this. Not a little treat, it's for the book. Yeah, I only need a little bit of it for the book, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, but there's a section on the book in kits. And someone raised on the Kickstarter that, you're doing cardboard kits. And then I thought, oh, no, I've never actually done stuff with cardboard kits. Not on the channel, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, where the hell do you get the old GW cardboard buildings anymore? Yeah, and I realised without, you know, being really lucky on eBay and paying an absolute fortune, you couldn't. But I remembered, yeah, there are cardboard terrain out there. So, it weighs a ton. I had this turn up. Yeah, this is Battle Systems. If you don't know Battle Systems do terrain sets, and it's cardboard, really good quality cardboard. Yeah, but it's cardboard. Now I haven't put any of this together yet because you need to watch the instructional videos. Yeah, I assume you do. There weren't any instructions with it. It came with these pieces as well. Yeah, so we have the Urban Turbine. That sounds like that sounds like a superhero. Yeah, and basically these are pop-out cardboard. Go on, let's pop this one out. Yeah, so I haven't read the proper instructions on how to do this. So I've delaminated something, I don't know. Right, and then there's these cutouts, so pop those with your fingers. Oh, I'm getting the kids on this. Definitely. This is fiddly. Kez will love it. Yeah. just got to get this little bit out. Do you know what? There's probably a really dead easy way of doing this. You know what I mean? A little knack to it. This is the stuff I have to figure out. Hopefully someone else has figured that one out and can tell me. Right. But yeah. And you end up with like these little cardboard pieces. Yeah? And they're printed both sides. And then if you look, do you see those cutouts? They sort of dock into each other. The pieces do. So this will dock into something else on here, I'm assuming. Yeah. And then it'll all lock together and become physical terrain. I'm going to try and keep that in there. So they sent this extra urban turbine. I like that, urban turbine. He's the urban turbine. Yeah, I can't get it back in. Calm down. Kaz! I can't get it back in. This cardboard. Bugger. Never mind. You're good at that sort of stuff.
What are you trying to do with it?
Do you reckon you can get that back in there? She loves that sort of stuff, does our Kaz. Yeah, then we've got this, what do you call it? Shanty building. And it's a mixture of walls. Or shanty buildings, because there's too many walls there for one building, surely. Yeah. And roofs and floors. And ladders. They've got staircases as well. And there's another sheet here as well, isn't there? Well done. Thank you, baby. Yeah. So yeah, one's walls, one's floors, and the other one... No, that's a duplicate of both. So it's... Ah, yeah, of course. It's floors on one side and roofs on the other. That would make sense. So they sent those two pieces and popped another bit out. That came out quite easy. Loads of free cardboard paper models on the internet, print, glue and play, loads of cheap stuff too that won't break the bank. Yeah, Jimmy, there is, but you know, if it's going in a book, you really need to sort of deal with copyrights and stuff like that. Oh no, that urban turbine sounded like James May. Urban turbine. My mate got the core space, which is a box full of that stuff he wants me to build. You'll have to let me know how you get on. What scale is it? I think it's 28mm. Yeah, modular 28mm to 35mm terrain, no painting required. So this is the big box. Oh God, there's a... I'll be honest with you, I haven't even opened it. I looked at those. It turned up, on Friday, and I haven't had a chance. So it comes with a battle mat in the box. Oh my God, I love the smell of neoprene. Alright, I'm well impressed with that. Yeah. Plastic connectors. Okay, and these look like they go on the edges of the cardboard. You have to sort of line bits up. And then a lot of cardboard. A lot. Go on then, shall we open it up? Go on, let's have a nose. It's always fiddly when these like heat packets, especially when you're doing it live, because you're conscious that everyone's waiting for you. Right, if in doubt, blade it out. Don't cut yourself, Bosicle. There we go. That's not a good idea. There we are. I'm going to put the blade net away now before I stab myself. Right, so what have we got? So... Shanty accessories. Yeah, 2 sheets of those. And they look like barriers and that sort of stuff. Girders. I see wall lights there. Ooh, waving it about. Right, let's put it back in the box so I don't lose it. Yeah, after that we've got more of the shanty floors and roofs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, 8 of the floors and roofs and the stairways. So that's the ones I've just shown you. And then, is it going to be 8 of the walls? Walls and windows, yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, maybe not 8. What? 1, 2, 5 of those. So those are the walls and the windows I've just shown you. Yeah. And then on the other side. Oh, it looks. Oh, I like that. Haha. Door the same? Door does look the same. Oh, don't want to pull that out completely. Yeah, let's do these. Look at that. You can pop the windows and doors out. I see you. So there's 5 of those. See, look at me trying to pop them back in again. There you go. So there were 5 of those, weren't there? Yeah. So that's the walls and the doors and the windows and that sort of stuff. There goes the window right now. I'll throw that back in the box. Give me a second. Yeah, and then what's this? Shipping container. Oh, that's quite nice. So you've got a shipping container there. Yeah, and crates. But if you spin it round, you can have different coloured crates, different coloured shipping containers. I like that. Mixed scatter items. So we've got dumpsters, fridges, food signs, medical signs, toilet signs, air conditioning units, barricade plants, sewer lids. There's office chairs there. So you can actually put office chairs together. That's quite cool. Yeah, this one is really useful items. Okay, what's on the really useful items? We have lots of stairs. Warning signs. Stairs going down under a counter. Fire escape. Shelving. Another chair. Aluminium ladders. Canopies. Actually, really useful items. What else we got? Street items. So let's have a... Oh, I like that one. Check that sign out. Billboards. Road barriers. Makeshift barriers. Fence panels. Another fridge. Battle systems like their fridges. I suppose it's where you keep the beer. Say hi for me.
Oh, now you can go see that, mommy.
And now this one's furniture. Yeah, so... Yeah, settee, office desks, more settees, a sofa. What's the difference between a settee and a sofa? Wardrobe, dining table, vending machines, a pillow. Is there a bed? TV stand. No, yeah, there's a double bed. So, not a bad collection. Not a bad collection at all, to be perfectly honest. Battle mat, connector clips, all those. So I've got to have a play with those for the book. But they turned up this week. Why do I... Right. I'm not even going to try and fit that back in the box. I'm going to get smart. I'm going to put my cardboard pieces back in the box. And my clips, I'll just put that on top of it. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Why is everyone talking about whales? A settee is usually smaller than a sofa. Their settee is bigger. Right, everyone's talking about Wales for some reason. If you're talking about me, I was born in Stoke. I grew up in Wales and then I moved back to Stoke. I was in Wales for about... Came back when I was 14. Went to Wales just after the sort of first year of primary school. It's about 8-9 years. Right. I think it's time that we hit, that we hit some questions, eh? Now remember, the link is down below to the Google Doc. If you've got any questions about the book, about me, about... pardon me. About terrain in general, which is the important thing. There's a Google Doc down in the description. Yeah, you don't need to be logged in. Just leave your, leave your channel name, what platform you're on, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch or Facebook. And then and then just enter your question in the box below and we'll jump into it. Right now I have 5 questions, so shall we delve in? Jimmy is asking on YouTube, yeah? Mel, just saw a video on my YouTube feed for paint that conducts electricity. Do you know of it? And if you do, have you thought of using it in any builds? I'll be honest, Jimmy, I didn't know there was a specific paint for conducting, electricity. Yeah? I imagined you could get paint that could conduct electricity, because you can get magnetic paint which has like metal in it. Okay, now, the one thing I'm thinking about for paint that conducts electricity, yeah, you could probably use it with something like foreground buildings as a way of lighting up the inside, because they come in stages, so they'd separate, yeah, so when you put the 2 pieces together, you'd make a connection, and you could use paint that way to invisibly move electricity to a set of lights. Beyond that, that's the only use of it I could actually think of. Yeah, the reason I say that is because, to be truthful, if you want to move electricity around a terrain piece, wire is normally your best option. And wire is pretty easy to hide on a terrain piece. You know what I mean? Electrical wires. In the majority of cases, I tend to... When I've had electrical wires on boards, what I tend to do is I tend to route out the baseboard. And I'll run the wires under the baseboard, yeah, with a bit of masking tape over them. Yeah, the reason being is if you have any electrical problems, you don't have to dig through the terrain to get to your wires. But even so, wires are pretty easy to hide. Yeah, but paint could work well in that situation where it'd be difficult to hide the connectors. Mel, I hit send before finishing my question. Oh, did you, Jimmy? It's reference to lighting up builds. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine you could use it that way. Yeah, but at the same time, wires are pretty easy to hide. You know, especially with terrain builds. So I'm not sure, although it's cool, I'm not sure how beneficial it would be to us. So we got 91 on YouTube, 3 on Twitch, hello my Twitchers, and 6 on Facebook, hello folks. Right, question 1 of 6, on to question 2 of 6. People saying graphite from pencil conducts too. Certainly does. The issue is possibly heat. Depends how much current you're running through it, how many amps. I mean, generally to light an LED, you don't need much at all. Okay, Yambam's asking, Mal, I bought a flop box based on your recommendation quite a while ago. I've been using it on and off for tufts. Is there a fast setting glue more suitable for the taller tufts? No. See, it doesn't actually say what glue you're using. Okay. Generally, when you're doing tufts, you want to avoid PVA because it's a bit naff. You want to go for a latex glue. Yeah. Copydex works reasonably well, but there's a thing called carpet tackifier that war painters sell. Yeah, and you can buy it on eBay by big litres, you know, by like gallon, but that's a ridiculous amount. I mean, the thing I like about Lee at War Painter is he's literally got the link to where you can buy the stuff in bulk if you want to just skip him and buy it in bulk. And he just tells you, look, this is what it is. It's called carpet tackifier. And you buy it from eBay from here on the big one. But if you don't fancy spending like, I think it's something like 15 quid or something. If you don't fancy spending 15 quid, yeah, you can buy one that'll do you like a couple of thousand tufts off me. You know what I mean? And basically he's just rebottling it. Yeah, but I really like the fact that he's completely honest about it. It's just practicality. If I think he makes £1 on a bottle. You know what I mean? For separating it up. But I like that. Yeah, carpet tackifier is the best glue I've found so far. And it's also the best glue Lee's found so far. And he spent a lot of time making tufts. So, yeah, I don't think there is, mate, to be perfectly honest. I mean, the one thing is you can always hit it with a hairdryer. Yeah, and set it a bit faster. Right, let's move on. Blake's asking, first time using Hearst molds. What do you use to glue the pieces together? Do you sand or fill the blocks if they didn't fit perfectly or have minor air bubbling? Right. Okay, a couple of questions. So Hearst blocks, if you don't know Hearst, Hearst Arts molds, they're RTV silicon, room temperature vulcanized silicon. Yeah, and they make all sorts of like little building blocks and interior bits. I think I've got about 16 of the molds. I've got their fieldstone set and some of their interior tavern set. Yeah, you do barrels and arches and walls and roofs and absolutely all sorts. They've got sci-fi molds and industrial molds and a whole range of medieval ones, and I think they've got Egyptian and a few other things, you know what I mean? Yeah, so you can do quite a range of stuff with them. Yeah, typically you cast them with a casting powder. My preference is Cristacal. Yeah, because it's a really, it's a really quick setting, light, strong casting powder. It's used in slip casting for, when you fire glass molds. Right. For gluing it together, I've always just used PVA. I know the American lot like tacky glue. Yeah, but I've never had a problem with PVA. The plaster is porous, so PVA works with it rather well. Next part of the question is, do you sand or fill the blocks if they don't fit perfectly? Generally, if you've done it properly, if you've done your casting properly, i.e. you've poured everything, you've given it a couple of good bangs to get the air bubbles out, and then you've gone over it and you've skimmed it so they're level, you never have to sand or fill the blocks because they're designed to come out in perfect measurements. I think it's an inch. The actual bricks, their standard brick is I think an inch by sort of half an inch by half an inch. Yeah, if you're sanding or filling the blocks, there's an issue with your casting process, mate. Yeah, the Hearst Art site has great tutorials on how to cast them and that sort of stuff. But generally, once they're cast and demolded, you really shouldn't be doing anything with them. Yeah, and that's how the molds are designed. Yeah, so I would say go back to what you're doing. I have a video on it. stick into YouTube terrain tutor Hurst Arts molds, and you'll probably see a video on how I do it. Yeah, it's old, you know what I mean? I just threw it together in the early days of the channel when I was doing some. Yeah. And also, what happens if you have minor air bubbling? I do occasionally get air bubbling trapped. Yeah, but I'm lazy. Yeah, what you're supposed to do is a wet water technique where you submerge the mold, yeah, in water with a flow aid in it. And what that does is it makes it so the air bubbles don't trap and they can actually pop out. Yeah, most of the time I just don't bother, to be perfectly honest. When you do get minor little air bubbles, what I tend to do is as soon as I've demolded them, yeah, I'll have a quick check out of them because you can normally spot them pretty quickly. Yeah, and what I'll do is I'll just get my thumbnail, yeah, and I'll just chip into it very quickly and sort of chip it out and just make it so it's not a regular circle, and then it just looks like part of the piece. Obviously, if you're doing something like an industrial piece or something like that, I'd probably wait until they're dry, yeah, and then just go over it with a little bit of filler. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with modelling putty or anything like that. I'd just smear a bit of filler on it and then just wipe it off. So yeah, Hurst Arts, that's how I do it. And looking at your question, mate, I would definitely say that you're going to need to you're going to need to re-look at your tutorial process, because a lot of the problems you seem to be having, yeah, you shouldn't be having if you're doing it right. Hope that helps, buddy. And if it does, links down below for the tips. Yeah, I'll have to check PayPal. I don't even know if we're going to get any, but there are links down for direct tips via PayPal. You can donate direct via Streamlabs, and that brings this funny thing up and makes a big announcement on the screen. And as always, yeah, there's the Patreon and the Amazon Studio list. Yeah, so if you'd like to support the channel, links down below. Right, next question. Oh, Gazby. Gazby is asking me, what game or games do you wish you had more time to play? All of them. All of them. I don't seem to play enough lately. I don't seem to have played enough in the past year or two, to be truthful. I used to play a lot more at the start of the channel, but I don't know if it's that thing where, because, you know, this is my job and, you know, I'm surrounded by by games and terrain and that sort of stuff, you know, pretty much all the time. No, it can't be that, because because at the minute my go-to thing, yeah, for sort of de-stressing is reading, okay? And I'm reading Yarrick, which is a 40k book. I love the 40k books. Yeah, so it can't be that. I just don't think I have the time, to be perfectly honest with everything. I'm trying to get better with managing my time and getting quicker with things and doing things. Like vlogging from my phone, rather than like recording it in the studio, bringing it back here, throwing it in an editing program, editing it up, rendering it out, uploading it. Now it's like record on my phone for a quick vlog, do the trim, start and finish at literally on my phone, yeah, and then jump on the PC to do some overlays and stuff like that afterwards. So it's like, I'm getting better at that stuff, and I'm trying to get better at that stuff. But I do need to game more. My plan was actually for Thursday nights, yeah, to do Thursday nights in the studio. Normally I'm in the studio doing my live stream, yeah, but I was thinking, have game night instead. Yeah, and just switch the cameras on, just roll some dice, you know, and chat with you guys as I do. I want to get into bolt action with more with Jace. Definitely want to play more Legion with Corbin because he's loving it, but we just don't get a chance to play as much as we should. The problem is that we don't really have terrain at home because it's all at the studio. And when I've been in the studio all week, I don't really fancy going back down at the weekend, if you know what I mean. But that being said, no reason Star Wars Legion can't be played in a shanty town, is it? I mean, I've got to keep a couple of the pieces for the book, but I can do that. And me and Corb can have a crack on and see what we can do. can do that. Ah. Yes, do that. More gaming. I can't wait for the book, Mal. I'm always learning whether you're tuning in the show or watching your vids. Thanks, Yamban. Mal reads books to de-stress. How do others de-stress? My go-to distressor is my tabletop foam cutter. I can spend hours just cutting foam up. Very relaxing. All right then, yeah. Just out of curiosity, I mean, we've got about 100 people watching. Yeah, go on. What's your de-stressor? You know when you've just had either a long day or a long week. You've got time to do something which is pointless. Yeah, wasting time for the purpose of de-stressing. I don't like the point of pointless because the point is to de-stress, so it's not pointless. But you know what I mean? There's nothing to show from it other than a de-stressed you at the end of it. Yeah, so what's your go-to? Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. Norman's saying, yeah, that might be the fumes, Jim. We've all been there, let's be honest. I've walked out of my studio, yeah, with some quite interesting eye sets. While people are coming in with that, Seville's, do you overall prefer historical or non-historical wargaming? I don't know. I don't think I've done enough of either, to be truthful. Want me to print you some Legion terrain? You could do, Ant. Gaz, I think you definitely need to find time for hobbying for both yourself and the family, bud. Yeah, Gaz, I think Thursday nights for me, I'm going to say... In fact, flock it. I'm not allowed to say the other F word. Yeah, only on very rare occasions. But, yeah, Thursday nights I'm going to have my gaming night. Yeah? And then what shall it? We'll stream it live. Yeah? So my Thursday live stream may be a little bit different than normal. Yeah? But yeah, it needs to be done. Right. I do my de-stressing by either reading or building or converting miniatures. So, hobby to de-stress. I sit in my 6x4 shed with a cold beer and some 80s tunes. I like that, Matt. Yeah, working on my 1944 diorama. Nice. Druid saying he goes down the YouTube click, click, click rabbit hole. I don't do that on YouTube. Yeah, Sander makes trees to distress. Jimmy's saying foam fumes are cheaper than dodgy drugs. That's true. And you've got beautiful foam to show for the end of it. Yeah. Gary's saying my go-to de-stressing is my painting minis. Yeah. I de-stress by building terrain and painting minis. That's Oddin. I walk down my driveway and sit on the beach with either a coffee or a tall wine and watch the waves. Yeah, Kat, you're not endearing yourself to the group with that one. Yeah, well, my favourite de-stress is either chewing pen lids or splintering matchsticks down into... Hello, darling. How are you?
Good. Just finishing up a picture.
Oh, you're just finishing up a picture? No.
I've been doing it.
No, you haven't. I've seen that picture before. You're pretending to have done that so you can come down and show YouTube how good you are, aren't you?
No, I was just came down to give you a hug and get a drink.
Oh, all right. You'll just leave that picture there?
No, I'll take it back off.
Oh, are you? Okay. You're not going to show it anyway?
No.
No terrain for your own kid? I think there's a saying for that. Yeah, there is. Drawing and painting car buildings in an old school style. Nice. People asking for my mail to rest. So Sandra, I'll mail it you. I take out my scrote bag junior ranks. Gas. I used to run my terrain layout or just start work and altern small pieces that I know I won't get stressed out on time to make. Yeah. Your videos are a good de-stress. I find painting a little frustrating. Too much for a perfectionist. I know the perfectionist one. Blake saying, De-stressing for me is hiding in my basement and messing with new terrain techniques and painting models, but only if there's no deadline involved. Oh yes. Svet's saying, my go-to de-stressor is drinking scotch whilst painting miniatures or terrain. Yeah, and browses Thingiverse for STLs. Yeah, that's his de-stressor? So basically, pretty much all of you lot, yeah, use the hobby as your de-stressor. Some of you use me. Yeah, so... yeah, I'm definitely going to have to game more. But my de-stressor is reading. I like reading. And I can't read ebooks. Yeah. I can if it's something technical and reference, or I'm using like rules for a game or something like that. But for pleasure, yeah, it has to be a physical book. I think it's the disconnect from the technology. I've been struggling a lot lately this past 2 weeks with actually reconnecting and getting into doing the YouTube stuff again, if I'm perfectly honest. I think I've got that burnt out on the Kickstarter. Yeah, that, it's like the elastic band, you stretch it so far and it twangs right back to another extreme. So after the Kickstarter, I just like completely decompressed, and now it's like, right, trying to pick up the pace to where I was and where I was doing pre-Kickstarter. So it's quite interesting, and it's been a little bit of a challenge. I'm definitely getting there. I mean, I've got to edit up some Adepticon footage tonight. Yeah, and I don't know how many hours I'm going to put into it. Normally, I could put 3-4 hours into it, into like, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, but I don't know tonight, to be truthful. Jesper, working in my garden or playing simple and stupid. I like that. Simple and stupid de-stress stuff. Bill likes his budgies. Hello, you. Good night, God bless.
Good night, God bless.
Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Zero Gamers congratulates on the Kickstarter campaign. Thank you, buddy. I can't wait for the finished product. What base theme would you recommend for a 40k Black Legion army? I had to go with, I'd go with like black. That's enough. My brain isn't thinking. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Gaz. Gaz has thrown us a donation. A couple of nuggets for the brew pot, and I better check my phone just in case some people have done it. I'm not sort of expecting it at the minute. That's why we've got no target or anything like that. I'm still in this sort of lull phase while I haven't quite got back into it yet. But I just want to make sure we aren't missing anyone. We might be, are we? No, No, just our Gaz today. Thank you, buddy. Cat saying there's a little more satisfying than sitting reading a real book. Yeah, I do enjoy it. Playing Dawn of War, blowing things up a lot. Yeah, I've got Dawn of War. But the mechanics, it's too easy to trick the AI, you know what I mean? And just be just out of the range of something to trigger something. And once you figure that out, it loses its fun. If Willow was drinking tea and going to bed, I thought only I did that. No, what you call it? Tea before bed is a common thing, mate. We used to have this thing as kids, but our bedtime drink would be tea and toast. And you used to dip the toast in the tea to make it like soft and melt the butter on it. Lovely. Okay, Red's asking, Mel, do you have any recommendations for a good, cheap beginner airbrush? Cheap is not a term you want to associate with airbrushing, mate. Yeah, I had a cheap Chinese airbrush. It was the first airbrush I used, and it put me off airbrushing for about 6 months until a friend of mine lent me one of his, and it was a proper airbrush, and I realised the difference between a cheap airbrush and a proper airbrush. The one I use is a Badger Patriot 105, and it's a good all-rounder. Yeah, it is a good one. It does a good job. I think I've seen people talk about them, and I'm not sure whether. I think Lowe's every so often does like a sale on airbrushes, and they're like 50% off, or you can get a Michaels or a Hobby Lobby sort of 50% off voucher, and it brings the price of them right down. Yeah, but I would go with either a Patriot 105 or I don't know what model Hiawatha. Yeah, because they're another good brand. There is a cheaper brand of airbrush, but I can't remember what it's called. Someone in the comments will jump in. Frank's saying, hey Mal, lots of us train guys are inspired by your work and teachings. Big thanks. No worries, buddy. Thank you. The voice acting in Dawn of War is awesome. We will go to the orcs. Otis is saying he's never been to a beach. Seen it on the History Channel, on the side channel. Love to see it sometimes before dark. That's crazy, Otis. I mean, it's quite weird because obviously in Britain we have everything from mountains, yeah, you know, snowy mountains, the Highlands, we have the moors, we have the Lake District, you know, we have the Norfolk Broads, we have thousands of miles of coastline, I think. Hey, boy. Yeah, thousands of miles of coastline. We've got beaches. We've got all sorts of beaches from volcanic. Do we have volcanic? I'm sure we've got a volcanic. Black Rock Sands is a volcanic beach. I'm not sure how the volcanic stuff got there because I don't remember Anglesey being a volcano. But I'm sure it's a volcanic beach. And so, just growing up as a kid, I saw, I mean, we used to go from Stoke, yeah, to North Wales, now to Anglesey. Now, to do that involved driving through the Welsh mountains, yeah, and then, when you got to North Wales, you would have God knows how many beaches. So the idea of not seeing the sea is crazy. Can you pull the door to, please, guys? Closest beach of Virginia Beach, and it's a 12-hour ride from my house. I'd do it. 12 hours is well worth it to see a beach. And saying the Patriot 105 is like the AK for airbrushing. I've abused mine for years. To be truthful, yeah, I've given mine some hammer, and it does take it. I've got that airbrush. Is great, big needles, so not super fine detail, but doesn't clog as much. Yeah, I like it for terrain because it's a good workhorse. No worries, Alpha. Blake's looking to upgrade from Patriot. Not sure what you'd go for. Tam's saying the Hiawatha Revolution is a reasonable starter airbrush. Can I copy that? Let me just have a quick nose. Hiawatha Revolution. Yeah, that's roughly in the same sort of price as a Patriot. I was just wondering if they were cheaper or right, let's move on with some questions. 8 of 11. Super Ego. Might be a long shot. Okay. I like long shots. I'm thinking of making a Squiggoth blimp model for 40k. A Squiggoth blimp. Squiggoths are the like the dinosaurs, aren't they? You're gonna attach a balloon to one of those so it's like running in the air. Just the idea of the Squiggoth blimp. Are they the squigs? Or are the swigs the, what you call it? Aren't the swigs the round sort of things with two legs that go up it? Right, yeah, so an inflator, yeah, okay, I'm seeing where you're going with that. Yeah. Now, how might you think I would be best to make the balloon part of it so that it was lightish, able to take detail, making faces for scales and skin, and durable enough to be moved around a table? Papier-mâché. Papier-mâché around a balloon, mate, for that. I mean, as long as you give it, say, 2-3 coats, yeah, it will be solid enough. I mean, if you're really concerned, you can give it a coat of like polyurethane varnish after you've made your actual... Blow your balloon up. While your balloon's blown up, layer on your papier-mâché. When it's all dried, yeah, you can leave your balloon inside or pop it. I'd leave it in, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, save messing with it. You can give it a coat of polyurethane varnish and that will give you a really good substructure. And then to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'd go for for Daz clay for the sculpting, or whether I'd go for something like a 2-part putty, especially for the larger, thicker bits where the shrinkage would be greater. But yeah, that'd be cool, mate. Post that on the Terrainiacs. Yeah, link down below in the description. Right, we are on question 9 of 11. Yep, it would stand in for a Shinork. I can't believe Shinork has actually become like common language now. That's crazy. Cat saying, the idea of game night is okay, but what about watching your live builds? We really, really like watching you build and make mistakes, fix them and teach us. Yeah, what you call it? To be truthful, Cat, I'm planning on doing more live streaming anyway. Yeah, and I can't see there being a game every Thursday night, but there will be a stream every Thursday night. Yeah, so live builds aren't going anywhere, Duck. Yeah, it's just I need to make time for gaming. Yeah, and I also get a lot of requests for gaming. Yeah, and for me to play games on the terrain I make. So I think, what you call it? I think it'll be a bit of both. Okay, Andy's asking, just watched your tutorials and very impressed. I'm going to try and make the simple scatter terrain on CDs, but I'm wondering which trees you used. Those trees were from Foreground, mate. But there's a whole range of different companies that make trees. Yeah, plus you can make them yourself. Jimmy's saying you could also use a kiddie's plastic rugby ball for the airship body and use hot glue to detail it. Yeah, that would definitely work. Blake saying Angel Geraldez, and that's how you say it, isn't it? Recommends a harder and Steinbeck Infinity airbrushes for models. At the end of the day, I mean, he's going to know better than me. I mean, the only thing I use my airbrush for with models is very much base coating. Priming and base coating. No worries, Andy. For the squig legs, you could also use just papier-mâché over some floral wire bent at the right angles. This could be attached and add not much weight. Yeah, that would work, Cat. Definitely. Jimmy's saying for the legs you could cut up some kiddies' plastic dinosaurs. Do you know what? Yeah, I did that once. I didn't cut up a dinosaur. Yeah, I butchered, yeah, this Tyrannosaurus Rex model and sculpted onto it and built it all up to make it look like this ginormous hive tyrant. Yeah, when I told the guy at GW, well, this is when I was younger, you know, when I was told the guy, are you disappearing without giving me a love? Don't polish my head. You got a biscuit there, lad?
Yeah, I do. Right.
You ready for school tomorrow?
I am.
You prepared?
No.
Hey ho, mate. Important term this term, yeah? Get your head down, lad. Love you. One of the days I'm going to get him for that. But not today. Yeah, but yeah, I sculpted up this massive hive tyrant thing. Cares?
Sorry, it's the dog, mate, opening the door.
The dog's opening the door. Yeah, so I sculpted up this massive hive tyrant thing. And it turned out brilliant. Yeah, but the guy at GW, when I told him what I was doing, you know, he God knows, I'm sure he thought I was just going to get a few hive tyrant bits and like glue them onto a plastic dinosaur. Jimmy saying in UK Poundland do a large bag of dinosaurs. I used a few to make epic 40k squiggus. Right, okay, Bill's got a question for us. I use green paint on clear plastic sheet. The stuff you see holding the pictures in the photograph albums. When I dry, I flip it upside down. I thought I would get a green still water pond. Instead, there's a milky white film layer between the plastic and the green pigment. What happened there? No idea, mate. A milky white film layer. The chances are the glass had something on it that the paint reacted with. To be perfectly honest. That's the only thing I can think of. I'd scrape the paint off and have a look at it. See what it is. Right, catch you later, Max. Right. So yeah, Bill. I have no idea, mate. My only thing could be that there's some protective covering that's reacted with the bottom of the watchlet paint. Right. 11 of 11. Oh, I've caught up. Could be an hour show, folks, if you don't get some questions in. Here comes the other Beatles. This Milky happened too many times on many tests. Did you use the same paint on all the tests? Whoa, what? Golden Dragon is saying, do you have any thoughts on Michael from Terranscapes leaving the hobby YouTube? I didn't know he had. Give me a second. End of the project, last video. Damn. I'm going to have to catch up with him. Ah, right, health reasons. Okay. I'm gonna have to catch up with him. Mike's been a pillar of the what you call it. He was a real inspiration to me when I started. He's a top guy, absolutely brilliant guy. I was supposed to meet his missus, what you call it. She was over in England for a tour, Tanya, and what you call it. We were supposed to get together, but it was literally post Kickstarter, and I was just exhausted. But you know, I Skype with Mike and that sort of stuff. We catch, but I haven't with the Kickstarter and everything like that. I haven't caught up with him in a month or two. Damn, I'm gonna have to reach out to him. You see, we're with me going on about I haven't been sort of connecting and I haven't been really watching YouTube or anything like this. So this has just gone completely straight. I missed it completely. Right, so he's keeping his content up. That's good because it's a good resource. Just a little off topic, but this is the first time since the Kickstarter began that Mel is relaxed and feeling normal. Just an observation. I'm not actually. I'm almost. Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely not who I was before I started the Kickstarter. I'm definitely more relaxed than that sort. I'm only in a tiny little bit of pain with my back. You know, if I sit in this seat for too long and I don't get up and walk around and that sort of stuff. I find half an hour, is a good excuse to just get up and just walk round my chair. And that can sort of do, walk literally about every half an hour, get up, walk round my chair a couple of times. Yeah, so I know that's still bothering me. So I am a little bit more relaxed and calm and I've caught some sleep up. But I'm just feeling, I don't know if I've gone too relaxed. Yeah, and I need to kick myself up the backside. Because I need to get in, I need to be writing, I need to be doing things. Gordon's saying, sorry to have broken the news to you. No, you're just the messenger, mate. Don't apologise for that. You know, yeah, it's the content of the message, which is, shocking. I'll have to reach out to him, make sure he's all right. Or just catch up with him, to be truthful. New chair, when? Kickstarter money, first part of my Kickstarter money to buy the camera gear and all that sort of stuff. That drops middle of May. Yeah, so my new chair will be coming then. Fingers crossed. New stream target, new chair. No, that's covered by the Kickstarter money. Jason will be kicking me for saying that. Roger that, Mel. Got to get up and move around every 20 minutes or so myself. Yeah, what shall it? It's a lot better than it was, to be perfectly honest, guys. But like I say, I'm a lot better than I was coming off the Kickstarter, but I'm not quite there yet, I don't think. I reckon another week or so. I'm also sort of conscious that I've got a lot of things catching up to do. Yeah, that I've been trying to catch up with. And I don't like being behind, to be perfectly honest. So I think I feel a lot better and a lot more relaxed, end of next week when I should be caught up with everything. Yeah, and then, at least I'm moving forward and I'm not thinking, well, I've got to do that from that and I need to message that person that I said I was going to message. Meandering Shade is saying, Terrainiacs has been a great inspiration and resource. It's great that Mike is going to keep all his past content up for future hobbyists. You say he will try to answer questions that people post in the future. I hope he does, mate. I hope he does. The issue is, that generally with YouTube, for your content to keep getting pushed, you need to be using the system, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so there's a possibility with him not publishing videos that his videos will slowly disappear off. I mean, it's a bit like, who was it? Carl Lumpian. Yeah, he was pre-Mike, I think. Yeah, and he was one of the really early first builders on YouTube. He always reminded me of Otto, yeah, from the Simpsons, because he was a massive stoner, yeah, and what you call it, he used to drive the school bus, and the entire town hated him, and no one hated him and his brother, yeah, and no one in the town would serve them except for the gas station, because he drove the school bus, and so they had to give him gas. And I'm not telling you any secrets, yeah? He talks about it on his videos. The videos are still probably up. If you search for Carl Lumpian, yeah, I think he did about 100 videos on all sorts of stuff, and it's nice stuff, yeah? But it's a pleasure to watch. The stories he comes out with, he's a great guy, but the stories he comes out with, I am 100% sure they based Otto off this guy. But the thing is, when he stopped producing videos, YouTube stopped pushing his videos in the search terms. Yeah, they do that, you know. It's that YouTube thing of, yeah, you might make money from monetization on videos, but if you're not working for us, we're not going to push those videos, and so you're not going to be making money. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's their way of keeping content engaged and making content. Yeah, I know if I have a break or if I miss a week or two, yeah, not only do I lose the traffic from those videos that I haven't done, yeah, but I also notice there's a considerable drop-off on all my other tutorials in the search terms. Yeah. Norman's saying, Mike did it for 11 years, time for a change. Yeah, he's been a pillar of the community for... You know what I mean? Catch that here, Jim. I've been a pillar of the community since I started. Catch that here, Insane. Cat's saying, good point, everyone should take a look at the vids from terrainiacs before they are gone. They won't go. They'll always be there, and if you search for them, you'll always be able to find them. But if you search for terrain water features, yeah, YouTube will list active content producers' videos before it'll list, you know, inactive ones. So if you go down the list far enough, you know, Mike's stuff will be there, Carl Lumpian's stuff will be there. Oh, who was the guy who started at the same time as me? Craig, I think his name was. Real Terrain Hobbies, I think he was. I can't even remember. He did the Necropolis project. But he did a load of videos, and he'll be down there somewhere. But you know what I mean? Unless you actively produce, yeah, it affects your search rankings and where you place. You know what I mean? So basically what YouTube is doing is, well, if you're a content producer, then we'll make sure that an active content producer will make sure your content appears, you know, sooner in the search rankings than inactive ones. So the concern is if you stop producing, yeah, your videos fall down that what you call it, that search listing, and then, you know, you don't get the views you used to. How many subscribers do we need to get Mel another YouTube plaque for his workroom? The next plaque is 881,000 subscribers away, mate. And it's taken me, what, 5-6 years to get 100? I ain't gonna last that long. Well, based on the conversation we had earlier in the car with Kez, you know, the one with a Master's of Science in Biology, my body may last that long with medical science. Yeah, whether I'm still going to be running a YouTube channel in, what, 40 years I think it would take? Yamban's asking, Mel, do you remember the YouTuber, the Carl Lumpian? Funnily enough, I've just been talking about him, mate. Real Terrain Hobbies is still active. He just did an unbelievable waves crashing feature. No, not him. There was another one, Cat. Another one. He came back, what you call it, it was Craig. Another Brit guy. Not that real terrain hobbies. I must be getting confused. Well, Willow might get you there. Gaz, yeah, Willow might get me there. Cup. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Want some cheesecake?
I can't eat cheesecake live on the stream. Stem cell Mel. Yeah, CRISPR and all this sort of stuff. Peter, I have seen you, what you call it. I have seen you reply, mate. I thought I'd replied. Steve's asking how your new book's going. 4 pages written and 7 pages scheduled to be written next week. 8,000 words, I reckon. Actually, in which case that's 9 pages, not 7. Jimmy say, Mel, build yourself a golden throne like the Emperor of Mankind and sacrifice psychers to keep yourself alive. Yeah, I need a voice-to-text machine, though. Otherwise, it's all going to go to pot. Oh, we got a couple more questions. Right, we're at 1:15 now. Let's keep it going. Yeah, okay. Have I seen the new Addams Family film trailer? No. Is there anything that... I want to watch Attila with, with Willow. But other than that, I'm not really into movies at the minute in the cinema. Or eat copious quantities of the spice melange. I go worm riding. I'll have your cheesecake, mate. No, you won't. I'm saving it for after the show. The spice must flow. Mel, have you ever considered getting a lift desk? This way you can stand up. My desk at the studio that I work on is designed to be worked on standing up. I have a tall seat to sit at it, but I don't want to be standing up at home. And Gaz is saying my throne arrives middle of May. The irony is, all of you guys will see it, and what we're not thinking of going for. I was talking with Jace with it about it. And we're not thinking of going with a posh office chair. We're thinking of going with a gamer's chair because they're ergonomically designed for sitting in for long periods of time. Yeah, so I'm gonna have one of these gamer chair things. Gaz is asking, what's the best way to make grass look like it's been blown by the wind? In this case, aircraft propeller as a blood red skies planes lift off. Best way is as it's setting, mate. About halfway through the drying process, come along with a really soft, flat edge brush and just gently brush it. Don't try and blow it. Yeah, what happens if you try and blow it is you move the glue more than you move the actual hair fibre. Yeah, the grass fibres. And what happens is you end up with this sort of wavy effect. Yeah. It's because you've got cheesecake. He's on his toes.
On your bed. Come on.
He's not going to go on his bed. Look, he's ignoring you.
On your bed.
He's ignoring you. See? Look, can he get any closer to the door? You've got cheesecake. He's not even relaxing. He's primed to jump over the sofa for cheesecake.
Right, stay. Stay.
Did Mum just shut the door on you? Is she eating cheesecake without you? He's done the sad dog face. Yeah, so yeah, if you're going to watch it, if you want to try and make windswept, don't actually try and blow it. You'll move the glue, mate. Yeah, get this wavy effect. Just a nice... the best ones are the house brushes. You know, the proper synthetic fibre ones. Yeah, they work really well. A flock green game chair. I haven't even thought about the colours. I was just thinking black. I suppose I could get green, couldn't I? I don't want one that lights up. Willow will never get off it. You know what I mean? Right, 14 of 16 guys asking, took your advice and contacted a local sign maker for EPVC offcuts. I'm using super glue to glue them together. Is this okay, or do you suggest another glue? No, super glue is the best for EPVC by far. Yeah, you're using the right glue there, mate. EPVC doesn't let glues penetrate it. Yeah, it's not porous. So the likes of your PVAs and your Gorilla Glues aren't great on it because they can't key in. But super glue works wonders. Hot glue isn't brilliant. Well, it can be, but not if you want a really close join. Cruelty to animals. Aldi do a fake green grass mat. Upholster the chair with it. No, because they'd never get Oz off it then, and it'd stink of pee. He'd be like, "Oh, it's desperate, Dad." Andreas is asking, and this is an interesting question, watching on Twitch. In what circumstances would you use ordinary super glue and super glue gel? Generally, there's two situations where I go for super glue. One, the material isn't porous. Yeah, so plastic, metal, resin, mainly. Yeah. If a material isn't porous, then a lot of the water-based glues and stuff like that really have problems soaking in and gripping to it, and you get that thing where you try and use PVA on two bits of plastic and you just peel them apart. Yeah, so I'll use super glue in the situation where the materials are basically, not porous. Yeah, so EPVC, plastic, metal, resin, generally. The other situation is and generally it's super glue gel in this situation. If I'm working on something that I want to stick, yeah, and it needs to stick pretty quickly, and it might need to stick, it might be in a position where gravity is acting on it. So if I'm doing fence posts or something like that, yeah, gel super glue is really good because the gel bit will hold it in place while the super glue bit sets. Yeah, and PVA and the other glues just aren't great at that. I imagine tacky glue is good, but I'll be honest with you, I've never used tacky glue. Yeah, I've come across it, yeah, in other places and stuff like that, and I've seen it used, but I've never used it myself. So my go-to place is always, for those sort of jobs, is always, a gel super glue. So those are the two circumstances where I switch to super glue. The reason they're the only two circumstances I switch to super glue is super glue is very expensive over the other glues, even if you get a non-brand one. Also, super glue can be a bit iffy because it can give off fumes that can affect the paint. Kat is watching all of the Marvel films, yeah, before going to Endgame. Isn't there something like 21 or 22, Kat? I now only use super glue gel as I find it much more manageable, and I apply it directly from the tube or a small piece of plastic card to manipulate into difficult places. Yeah, I use super glue gel a lot. The only time I tend to use super glue liquid is if I'm working in an area that's quite expansive. So, I want to stick this resin air conditioning unit onto this MDF building. Yeah, in that situation, the liquid's a bit slapdash, you know what I mean? So if you've got a reasonable working space, you can get away with the liquid, yeah? But the gel is generally the way to go. Gaz is saying, I've also found that for plastics and metal, gel is a much better bond, and more recently, I have been using it as a natural gap filler that I can shape. I hadn't figured about using it as a gap filler, but I can see that working. Right, locking off the questions now because we're at 20 past. Tacky glue is just thickened PVA, so things just stick quicker. Well, you see, I do my own tacky glue because I always thicken my PVA up. Anyway, you know what I mean? If you're wondering how to thicken PVA, PVA is just it's a water-based glue. So you get your big bottle of PVA and you put it in a big wide open metal tray, yeah, and then you just stick it on the side for a day or two. And every so often you just go along and give it a stir so it doesn't get a skim. Cover it over at night time so it doesn't fully set. Yeah, you know, you don't get a skim on top. But during the day, just give it a bit of a stir. Yeah, and after about 2 days in the nice warm, most of the liquid will go off and it'll go from being really runny to like a thick sludge. And then at that point, just scrape it back into the bottle. And there's your tacky glue. Ian saying, although my scene is railways, lots of relevant content. Having just dismantled the settee, I have a large piece of foam, not sure what it is, be it upholstery foam, mate. About 6 foot by 2 foot and 4 inches thick. And I was thinking of using this for lightweight scenery. I could cover this with plaster bandage or similar. Shame to waste it. Yeah, you can do that. Lloydie from Beasts of War came up with the upholstery foam plucking. Yeah, so you buy a piece of upholstery foam and then you pluck it off and then you spray it with spray cans and give it a dry brush. And it looks quite nice and it's quite firm and durable, but lightweight. But you could easily use it as a substructure and put plaster bandage over it. Easily, mate. Catch you later, guys. Oh, we watched... Cat's talking about Doctor Strange. We rewatched Doctor Strange in the week. I'd seen it on at a friend's and I'd forgotten how good of a standalone film it was. Right. Otis is saying, now make a contest that we vote on the colour and type of gaming chair. No. I might let you choose the colour, but, you know, this is for my back, so I'm not leaving the choice of what I'm going to be spending, you know, a considerable amount of time in over the next 16 weeks. Yeah, so no, I may let you choose. In fact, I might not even let you choose the colour, because there might be a colour that I don't like the vibe of, and if that's going to put me off writing, then no. So no, guys, no, you're not having a contest. I'm picking my chair. Yeah, for a very sensible reason. Oh, that's wet the whistle. Cat saying Gorilla Glue Super Glue isn't bad if you buy it with 50% coupon. Nice. Skinny Fat Man, I love Doctor Strange. One of the few I own on DVD. Graham saying pink. Tyler saying I vote Hello Kitty chair. You see, this is why. Yeah, the chair obviously needs a TTT logo on it. It won't need a TTT logo on it. It'll have a TTT sitting in it. The chair is in Kez's house. We don't get a say in the colour. Is it going to have a vibration unit in it? Quite possibly. And a heating unit. I'm going to have a nice warm bum. Mel, your chat box isn't updating anymore. Oh, it did well, didn't it? Good old Restream chat. I mean, it started good and it made it all the way to nearly the end of the show. Best gaming chair I've ever had or seen in the shops. Top Star RS Race Pro. Go on, let's Google that. And see how much they are. I might not want to know. Right, okay, alright. Comfortable office chair with a tapered back. This particular office chair. Right, okay. Any colour as long as it's black. That was Ford's line, wasn't it? Chair face. See? Go multicolour. No. Don't think the heating unit over here in Oz. You don't need it in Oz. I need it over here. Not really, it died 25 minutes ago. Did it really die 25 minutes ago? Well, it did an hour. I paid about €450 for mine. I haven't got that sort of budget for it. What's the budget for the chair? I might not be getting a top end chair. Where's my budget sheets for the chair? No, it's filing. Are they in here? No. There you are, 4 pages. Yeah. Do you see the red? Yeah. And the black. The little black marks and the red marks. This is what 4 pages on the warping section looks like without pictures. Yeah. And the writing there. This is 3,700 words. And the writing there. Yeah. Yeah. And the writing there. Let me show you this. Just as we wind the show up. Yeah. That's Willow checking my grammar. I think she worked out over the 3,700 words on 5 pages. Yeah. That there were 27 grammar mistakes. She told me at one point that I should use a, not the, because the is the wrong determiner. I turned round to her and said, "What's a determiner?" So, yes, that's what the warping section looks like. Right, there? No, they're all job lists. I'm doing this thing. I like writing notes on paper. Yeah, bullet points and working things out. Yeah, and so what I decided was, just out of curiosity, instead of like when I've done like a job list or I've sketched something out, instead of throwing it in the bin and tidying up, I'm saving it. And so far, these are the notes for my book. And so I'm saving them all. I'm going to see what it takes to write a book, note-wise. They are. Quick flash. That's the planning section. That was too quick for you guys to see. I'm too out of focus for you guys to stop the video on. Don't forget you can use the replace tool to set everything to the same case. I discovered that. Mel, Squirrel TV is a full-time content creator who sits on a gaming chair for ages every day. He's got a code to get 50% off his gaming chair. Should you have a look? Squirrel TV. Thanks for that, buddy. What's a determinant? Don't know. The stuff you know from school. The stuff they teach kids in school nowadays. Yeah, what's the best light setup for a painting table? A lot of people like the LED, the natural light LED arches, don't they? I just generally just get a lamp and stick it next to me, but then my painting ain't pro. Have you thought about buying something to store your notes in? Mostly to protect them from fire and water? To be perfectly honest, yeah, if the notes get taken out by fire or water, I've got bigger problems than looking after my notes, mate. You know, like looking after my house. So, you know, sod the notes. On the plus side, well, there are the kids which I have to be concerned about with fire, but with regards to, you know, water, we're on a bit of a hill. We'll be okay. I'm just saying, reach out to the chair companies. They might do you a big discount in return for the advertising, or even send you one for free. I can give it a go. We can see. Right. I think it's time to wrap this all up now. We are done with our questions. You watch. The chat's going to start running now. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we are done with our questions. We've had a good show, haven't we? Listen, guys, thanks for joining me this Sunday. Videos coming out on Tuesday. Will be live on Thursday. Will be in the studio. Yeah, maybe playing a game. Maybe building terrain. I don't know. Yeah, maybe figuring out how I'm going to write another 3,000 words before Friday. Maybe, who knows? Yeah, this is what we've got to figure out. Yeah. But I will be on the studio on Thursday. So, I am going to love you and leave you. Thanks for keeping me company. Thanks for joining me. Videos Tuesday. Live stream Thursday. And if I don't catch you Thursday, I'll see you Sunday night, 9 o'clock UK time for the Sunday Nighter. All the best yet. Ta-ra, folks.